Hey guys, it's John from ReelBlue Custom Rods, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to do a saw blade wrap, which is a take off of the Jim Trelakis olive branch wrap or the JTOB wrap. It's pretty interesting, as you can see here. I've got a couple that are done, and you can be really creative again with this wrap, just like the olive branch wrap. You can be really creative here, with multiple colors of wrap. Different tag wraps in between the saw blades prior to or after the saw blades. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, but as you can see here, I'm keeping it pretty basic, just to keep it easy for the first time doing it. We can do some videos later on with, get a little bit more intricate with different colors. So let's go ahead and get started on the saw blade wrap. Hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started on the saw blade wrap. Right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the trim wrap. I'm going to do a little trim wrap in here. Carry over what I had down here on the other end. And I'm just lining up this rod I'm working on. All right, so this is a 3-piece travel rod that I'm working on here. All right, so that's the first color trim. I'm going to come back with my second, so a little gold, and I'll come back with like a little gunmetal. All right, so little gunmetal tag wrap, and I'm going to come back with my last color for the tag wrap, which is going to be metallic black. All right. All right. So we got that there. Cut the working in off of that. Cut that one. And then now we are ready to do work on this saw blade wrap. So I'm going to use just a regular black size A non-color fast, nylon thread. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, you guys have seen me do this before in my video, so I'm just gonna make a red mark on this piece of tape, and that's gonna let me know when I'm up at the top, so it makes it a little easier for me for counting. All right, so it's about 20. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to cut my yellow thread. I'll come underneath here. Then I'll tack this down in 2 spots, just so it's not moving around on me. All right, so I got that marked down, and I'm just going to do some more wraps over this to help lock this down, this yellow piece of thread. So I went over that 15 times to help lock that down for a total of 35 black wraps. You know, the black wraps, the number doesn't matter. I'm just telling you so I know, you know, just that's how I keep track. So now I'm going to get into the saw blade wrap, right? And so it's basically the same thing. It's basically the same technique with the olive branch wrap or the JTOB wrap, right? And so the difference here is we're going to keep the thread color right next to it once we go through. So you'll see what I'm saying here in a second. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my yellow thread, and I'm going to start wrapping it around just like I'm doing the JTOB wrap, right? The olive branch wrap. So I got about 13 wraps on that. And I want to come off a little bit. All right, so as you can see, right, so I've got the wrap on there. So the JTOB, or what we would call the, you know, the part for the olive branch, right? So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with a yellow wrap over the top of that, or right beside that, and that's going to help start to create that saw blade effect. So I'm loosening up my black. I'm taking my yellow, right, and I'm going to start coming around, just freehand, coming right next to that olive branch wrap, and I'm going to go over my black thread. And I'm going to do this 3 times. That's 2. This is 3. Come over or underneath my black, and then I'm just going to start to tighten it down with my black thread a little bit. And you'll see it's a little loose, but I'll tighten it up here once I get my black thread wrapped around it. So that's 1 time, 2, 3. All right, so I've got 3 wraps of that black thread around. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go in and tighten this up. Make sure everything's on the right side. All right, so I did 3 wraps. So I'm going to pull up, lock it down, pull up that working end, and then just tighten it back down. So you can see that I have, and let me try to zoom in. So you can see, right, that I've got that that first olive branch piece, and then I just tied it in with that yellow thread, and then I came back with 3 wraps of black, right? So now I'm just kind of dressing it up. I'm still at 3. I back that back off. All right. So now we'll do this again for the right side of the saw blade, right? So we got 3 wraps in the middle of the black. I think that's good. I want to keep it that, that minimal amount of black wraps. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to do 3 wraps of the yellow. Right. So I'm going to take this yellow and come back over with 3 wraps and then put a olive branch wrap right on top of that to give it that saw blade effect, right? So just to recap, we did an olive branch wrap with 3 yellow wraps right next to it. Then I kind of locked that in with just 3 black wraps, right? You can do as many or as less as you want. You could even add a different color in there. And then now to get the other part of that saw blade, I'm going to come over with my hand and just do 3 yellow wraps, right? 1, and come over the black. Bear with me real quick. I want to make sure this comes out really good here. All right, so that's 2. Sorry, I backed it off again. I'm sorry. So 1. 2. 3. So now that I have those 3 wraps in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over and I'm going to do the same thing on the olive branch or the JTOB, right? So I'm going to create an olive branch, go in the same direction I went on the first one. So I went clockwise, so I'm doing it again. So I'm just, I know you can't see it, I'm just wrapping the thread around the yellow thread around the black thread. Just kind of working to not have it so tight. All right, so I'm backing it off a little bit. So I'm going to rewrap these around again. And now I'm just going to keep going with the black now that I've got that olive branch wrap in there. And I'm just turning it to use that yellow to lock it down. Okay, so now I'm going to come back and I'm just going to use my burnishing tool, and then I'm going to adjust that yellow thread here in a second. So I'm just kind of coming back, getting it tightened up a little bit. So now I'm going to take my yellow thread in my hand and I'm going to come back. I'm going to lock it off right here. I'm going to lock it off right here where I had the yellow thread with my thumb, and then I'm going to pull the yellow thread tight so you can see I'm locking it down. Pull the yellow thread up tight. And then now you can see how we have that the saw blade look, right? Just going in there, holding it down, lock it in. So now I'm going to cut my working into the yellow thread. Now all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to even out the black side to this black side here. All right, so it's about right. What I want to do is get a piece of thread in here so I can lock this down. All right. So I'm just locking down this, working into this black thread. Back with the burnishing tool. Get a nice turn, make sure you got a nice straight edge. Cut my running line. So now, I have the saw blade wrap, right? So you saw, see I did one earlier here. Now I was doing this one, so it'll match. And now what I'm gonna do, when it comes to here, and I've showed you this before, so I've got this working into this thread. I wanna cut that out, right? But what I wanna do is I wanna cut it short enough to where none of the yellow thread is exposed. But I also don't wanna cut it too close to the bottom to where I end up cutting the black thread that's over it, right? So the little trick is basically what you want to do is pull the thread and create a space between the black threads. Come back with the blade, cut the yellow, and voila, it pops right over the top. You just take your burnishing tool, you go over it, and then you can't see that yellow portion. Okay, and then basically I would just finish it off with a couple tag wraps. All right, so kind of keep the theme, and I'm going to do some more decorative wrap moving across this, but just to make it even, and I want the look to be the same, because what's going to happen is this wrap's going to tie right into a guide wrap. So I'm going to come over with some black really quick. All right, so the first part, we got some metallic black thread for a tag wrap. All right, so we got the black thread there for the metallic wrap, or excuse me, black metallic thread for the tag wrap. I'll come over with a little bit of gunmetal. Again, I just want to, mirror what I did on the other side of this this wrap. All right. All right, and I want to come over with some gold. Again, there's quite a few ways, or a couple different ways to do tag wraps, but I'm just doing the straw method. It's the easiest for me. All right, and so that takes care of this gold tag wrap. And got a little fuzzy on the tape. There we go. And that's it. Yeah, so again, this is the saw blade wrap, which is a different take on the JTOB, or the Jim Trolliker's olive branch wrap. And it's pretty easy to do, as you can see. You can also do some different things by adding different, trim band colors on the middle. There's all kinds of different things that you can do using multiple colors of thread and things like that. So, hey, if this is your first time at my channel here at ReelBlue Custom Rods, and you like what I'm doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get notified every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when I'm publishing a video. And if you're if you're one of my subscribers, thanks for supporting me and supporting the channel, supporting my business, and hit that like button, and feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about the videos that I'm posting. and sharing with you guys. And if there's anything that you would like to see me, make a video on and post it to the YouTube channel. Okay. So until next time. All right. Take care.